Huge clusters of workers have become sick with COVID-19 at meat processing plants in the United States because some of the largest corporate food processors failed to implement any kind of safety precautions for workers. Joining me to talk about this is Farron Cousins, editor of the Trial Lawyer magazine. As I look at this story, worse yet, as I look at the graphics here, I don't want to eat meat. But, this story really, I think we're going to survive even without meat for a while. People have alternative protein. But the thing that bothers me about this is it just got so little attention. These workers were going in without any protection. They're working 4 feet apart, basically, no protection at all. The sound is so loud in there that to talk, they have to get face to face, ear to ear, whatever. It just screamed out for problems, especially when people started leaving and not coming back because they couldn't come back. They were sick.
Right. And one of the things we're finding out now, too, is that the management at many of these plants, Tyson Foods, JBS Foods, and Smithfield, actually encouraged workers, even if you're sick, you still have to come in. We're a vital part of the economy, a vital part of the food chain, they said. So even if you're sick, if you're showing symptoms, we still want you to come in. One employee described it as, unless you were in a casket, they expected you to show up to work the next day.
Yeah, it was they call it their work while sick policy.
Right.
They actually had a policy, the work while sick policy. I can't avoid the irony here. This is crazy. Smithfield, as you know, the biggest meat packer maybe in the world, is owned by the Chinese, doing business right here in the United States. So Smithfield probably had some of the worst policies across the board. And Smithfield, of all of them, had every reason to know very early something was getting ready to happen, but they provided no masks, they provided no gloves, they provided no separation, because I guess they look at these people as being expendable. Thousands of these people working in the same plant.
Right, and they do view them as expendable. I mean, we've seen this, for all kinds of different corporations. The workers come and go. If somebody drops dead on the assembly line, you simply replace that person. It goes back to the old asbestos memo. If you've had a great life working in asbestos, why not die from it?
Yeah.
And that corporate mentality has not changed in over 100 years at this point.
Right.
So what we've had with these workers, in addition to being told come in sick, we had the businesses themselves, Smithfield, JBS, Tyson, told the federal government, told OSHA, okay, we're going to implement these new standards. And the new standards are you have to wear a mask, you have to do the social distancing. And then according to the workers, it took weeks after they promised OSHA everything was going to be okay before the masks showed up. It took weeks before they were actually told to distance themselves from one another at least 6 feet. So the corporation tries to tell the government, listen, we're doing everything right. We've made these new policies. But the workers are saying they may have told you they made these policies, but they never implemented them until, of course, it was too late. They didn't get their masks at many of these plants until about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, so right now, more than 3,000 of them are sick. The workers are sick. More than 20 are dead. And so the point is this, it's workers' compensation. You see, that's different from being able to sue the corporation. That worker, their only relief generally is going to be through workers' compensation. So a corporation can make an assessment. How much does this worker compensation, how much is it going to cost us if we lose Joe over here because he's got coronavirus? They do the math. And when they do the math, they say, well, we're going to do a lot better, just business as usual. Joe's not going to be that expensive because it's workers' compensation. No big deal.
Well, and you've got the Trump administration right now, and Mitch McConnell, as of yesterday morning, announced he was going to be working on this as well, trying to come up with some kind of immunity for corporations so that when they have outbreaks like this, you can't sue them at all. And what that's going to lead to is that's going to lead to even fewer safety precautions. They're going to think, well, we don't have to protect our workers because we're immune now. It's going to be this horrid, slippery slope of mass infection.